Mention the name Hanuman, and people immediately picture spectacular feats, leaping across an ocean to reach an island fortress, or lifting an entire mountain. Long before those events took place, decades of quiet, rigorous preparation occurred in the background. This individual did not emerge fully formed through divine intervention. He was meticulously shaped by the demands of a highly organized society. That society was the Vanara Civilization, anchored in the remote mountain kingdom of Kishkindha. To understand his capabilities, we must look closely at the civilizational systems that trained him. Kishkindha was defined by extreme geography. Sheer vertical drops, narrow rock pathways, and dense forest ravines created a highly unforgiving landscape. Surviving in this terrain forced the Vanara people to prioritize continuous physical mobility and acute observation of their surroundings. Ancient traditions highlight a story of a young Hanuman leaping into the sky to catch the rising sun, mistaking the glowing orb for a fruit. Read closely, the story illustrates a child with absolute fearlessness and an overabundance of raw, undirected energy. The daily reality of navigating Kishkindha's severe landscape provided the initial friction needed to channel that chaotic energy into controlled physical agility. Eventually, his unrestrained behavior led local sages to impose a curse of forgetfulness, blocking his conscious access to his immense physical abilities. Stripped of his immediate magical advantages, he had to navigate the physical world with the same limitations as his peers. In a culture that valued intellectual observation as much as physical mobility, a youth who could no longer rely on dominance was forced to find a different path to influence. He sought out the mentorship of the sages, trading his reliance on muscle for the structured education of Kishkindha's elite. He submitted to the rigorous curriculum of the sages. Here, he studied reasoning and built a robust foundation in language, strategy, and diplomacy. By mastering these subjects, he replaced the blunt instrument of physical strength with the sharper tools of calculation and diplomatic influence. The removal of his innate power forced him to cultivate the strategic intellect that his later life would require. That intellect was soon tested by an internal crisis. A fierce power struggle erupted between the Vanara leaders, Vali and Sugriva. This civil war fractured the kingdom's political stability. A unified civilization dissolved into competing factions with rapidly shifting alliances. Amid this chaos, Hanuman carefully evaluated the political landscape and chose to align himself with the marginalized leader, Sugriva. Supporting a vulnerable faction required strict patience and unyielding loyalty. He had to maintain focus and direct his allies, even when their position was highly precarious. He learned to manage tense alliances and coordinate resources, stepping beyond his roles as a student and a warrior. The collapse of Kishkindha's leadership provided a real-world testing ground, solidifying his academic training into practical statesmanship. Many years later, two human princes, Rama and Lakshmana, finally breached the dense forests at the border of Kishkindha. Hanuman approached them to conduct a calculated, high-stakes intelligence-gathering mission for his leader. He utilized his extensive command of language and statecraft to cautiously assess their intentions and establish safe common ground. This successful navigation of complex statecraft did more than establish an alliance. By operating at the absolute peak of his training, Hanuman finally fulfilled the condition of his ancient curse, regaining full consciousness of the power he had carried in secret for years. That pivotal meeting succeeded because of the communication and analytical skills ingrained in him by the Vanara academies. The immortal figure recognized across the globe today is the result of years of continuous, deliberate development. He is the refined product of an unforgiving landscape, rigorous academic mentors, and deeply complex political trials. Those same civilizational strengths would soon be directed outward, toward the search for Sita. In our next episode, we examine how the forces of Kishkindha executed this large-scale, highly coordinated intelligence and exploration operation.